Hoo-ah, 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 we are the Buffaloes. B-U-F-F-A-L-O-E-S, Buffaloes. You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my mannies, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain as the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? They all play the jolly good game of bally-boo. They all play the jolly good game of bally-boo. They all play the jolly good game, but buffaloes beat them all the same. Inky-pinky bally-boo. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old sweet refrain that the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. They simply fade away. They simply fade away.
Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, Lord, I wanna be in that number. When the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, Lord, I wanna be in that number. When the saints come marching in. We are traveling in the footsteps of those who have gone before, but we'll all be reunited on a new and sunlit shore. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, when the saints come marching in. Oh, Lord, I wanna be in that number. When the saints come marching in. Some days in this world of
Hoo-ah, 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 we are the Buffaloes. B-U-F-F-A-L-O-E-S, Buffaloes. You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my mannies, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes? How do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AFL&T's coverage of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL season from TIO Stadium here in Darwin. We're here for round 13 action of the Men's Premier League competition, and this afternoon we've got a massive game coming up between the Darwin Buffaloes and St Mary's. My name's Liz Cruz, and joining me in the commentary box today, Ash Manakaris. Ash, Happy New Year and welcome back to footy.
Yes, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you and those that have managed to tune in at the start of this 2023 year. We're looking forward to this clash. There's a lot at stake here. Saints versus Buffs, and a little bit on the line, a little bit of emotion too.
There is. It's, as I said, 3 plays for a big game coming up. Both teams are coming off a win, and play is underway already.
Dylan Lant with a quick kick out of there. Umpire Ben Johnson making his debut, and it's the man of the moment, Tanner Coulthard, who gets it over straight away to his running teammate. And Buffs looking to set things up early on that far side. Just going short, of course, milestone game today for Timmy Eldridge for Darwin, playing his 150th game.
Yeah, fantastic. He's a ripping fella, Timmy, and it was fantastic to see everyone line up for a guard of honour and him run through the banner for his 150th game. I believe he's the 4th person in his family to get life membership. He's part of the Briston family, who are a well-known family in Darwin, so big congratulations to Timmy.
Yeah, and we see a free kick page straight away there. It's deliberate out of bounds. The 3 Lant brothers in the St Mary's side today. The youngest, Dylan, 21.
No, Brock's the youngest.
Brock, sorry, the youngest. Dylan's, where's he, in the middle?
Yep, and Jack's the oldest.
Jack's the oldest.
Dylan and Jack have obviously both played for Saints, but it's Brock's debut game, and they've only ever played one game before together, back in 2019 in Sunbury, they were telling me. So, yeah, second time playing, and Mum Terry and Dad Tony are tuning in live from Victoria, so hello to you guys.
Well, it's been a pretty dry day here so far at TIO Stadium. The ground's held up. A little bit of moisture towards the left forward pocket at the Michael Long end around that 50-metre arc sign. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Down, taken high there, let go. Play on is the call. Back into the middle. Paredes is wrapped up for Saints. Now it comes loose. Still getting nowhere, though. Held up there in that tackle was, in fact, Brock Lant. So he's been caught holding the ball. Eldridge now will send it back forward. Coulthard it is, sorry. Off hands, straight away, punched away there. It was Hassan Ahmad Watkins. They send it forward. Salmon got his hands on it for Saints. Steps one way, then the other. Then looks up forward. It's going to be copped off by Moroney, though. Moroney just swivels and turns back inboard. Picks out Bradley Stokes. Stokes goes over the board, finds Mitch Robinson in the middle, of course, the former Brisbane Lion. Sends it up towards Matty Campbell territory. Himself a former AFL player. Campbell comes in to offer some support. Liam Holtz-Fitz tried to get it one time, and the boundary line beats him, will be thrown in.
Exciting start, Ash. 2.5-minute mark of the first quarter, and everyone wearing black armbands today. We've got a competition-wide black armbands in place to honour the recent passing of Kane Riley, who was a much-loved footballer and played for the Darwin Buffaloes this year.
Buffs with their first chance scoring shot, and it was off hands, and it was Nicky, and through for a point.
And Jacob Long carried Kane's young daughter Kyla out, his sister Jasmine, the partner of Kane. So our thoughts are with Jasmine and the kids as they get through this. Good kick in by Jacob, hitting up Hillier there.
Luke Hillier looks sideways, looks both ways, picks out Parnell, little short pass, comes back in board, and he does, and finds Hillier again. They're all moving. He doesn't have a lot of options, though. Darwin is going to make him, he's going to come to the young guy Jack Lant. He skips up. Now he gets a handball away to Paredes, waiting for it. Paredes just turns and goes. Salmon stopped, didn't go anywhere. Now he's going to try and collect it second time. Robinson, though, cleans it up.
Mitch Robinson, dangerous early with the peroxide blonde hair he's sporting.
Eldridge, first touch, the 150-gamer, picks out Nicky. Nicky at 55. Ignores Campbell, but goes back in board and picks out Patrick Bowles. Bowles just swivels and turns and goes, and picks out a leading teammate. And so Darwin will go back and have their first deliberate shot at goal, and I reckon it's Joey Collinson.
Yeah, looks like Joey Collinson to me, a lifetime Buffalo player, so he'll probably kick it from about 40 metres out, I reckon, Ash, and not much of an angle at all.
Joey Collinson So Darwin with an opportunity. There's no real breeze. If there's anything, it's sort of blowing towards the opposite end, the right of screen. Collinson, he looks pretty happy with it. Hands up in the air. Robinson gives him high fives. And the umpire gives the all clear.
So Buffs with the first goal on the board at the 4.5 minute mark of the first quarter here at TIO Stadium through Joey Collinson. So Buffs will be pretty happy with that. Joey's, as I said, been at Buffs all his life. He went off to Tracy Village and Uni Rats for a little while there, and he did play for Thunder back in 2012, 2013, but doing some good work in the Buffaloes jumper again. 2023, Ash, can you believe?
No, I can't. And one of the interesting names on the team sheet, and he's up the back for the Darwin Buffaloes, is number 22, Lionel Ogden.
Yeah, the premiership player from Southern Districts, a very good player. So I know you were surprised when you saw his name on the team sheet.
I did. Vrodos there with his quick hands. Quick hands over the top. Nicky again, he's been useful early. Got it from Thomas Clark. Nicky then steps inside, left foot, looking for Campbell. And he picks out Matty Campbell on the lead.
Sold a bit of candy there to get that in to Matty Campbell. And as we know, former AFL player for North Melbourne. He played 82 games and kicked 79 goals until he finished in 2012. He returned to Sandford footy and then came back to Darwin. And he's originally from Pioneer in Central Australia, from Alice Springs. Let's see what he can do with this one.
Well, he's directly in front. He's pushed it off just slightly to the right, trying to get a little bit of extra distance. He also had a very good season in Alice Springs last year.
Oh, he's a beautiful player. His kicking is elite. Reads the ball so well, and he's just a dynamic little forward. He told me once he was the original Flash. It was his nickname. But Nigel Lockyer, another Alice Springs export there, flying for the ball.
Big kick out from Jacob Long.
Yeah, pushing it forward, but only as far as Moroney.
Yeah, Moroney's going to have a chance to set it up, but he's going to go sideways. And they'll just keep it moving forward.
A few changes in the teams today. St Mary's have got 3 debutants, Brock Lant Cruiserberger and Riley Clamp. So a few new faces.
Tyrone Bean just over the top. Stokes, that's Bradley Stokes. Yet to see Jared come in with a touch. Bradley Stokes puts it forward, punched away though from Stafford. Loose on the ground, Long wrapped up, can't get it away. Now it comes to the big man Stafford, and he couldn't quite get his boot on it cleanly, and the boundary line, it goes out of bounds in the hands of Wilkinson from St Mary's.
Another Alice Springs connection in Stafford. He's a very exciting player, a much decorated player down there in Alice Springs, Daniel Stafford.
Well, Darwin have a chance to consolidate their position in the 5 with a victory here, and it's very congested. Round 4, 5 and 6. Socket off the ground, attempted soccer by Nicky, burrowing underneath though. And over the top, umpire Gow says, give it to me and I'm going to ball it up. And the last one up
Lachlan Stenning.
Was Stenning. Gow just straight up in the air, throws it up straight away. Wilkinson. Handball knocked out, comes to Dylan Lant. On the boot, left foot. Looking it up for Lockyer. Lockyer couldn't quite take it. Under pressure, though, from Bean. Handball's back inside. Doesn't have a huge amount to give to. It's the other Lant, Jack Lant.
Nigel Lockyer getting the handball out, and Nate Paredes getting that one in. He's looking forward to see who his options are. Joey Salmon's in there. Jackson Calder's in there. He dives for it. Jack Lance trying to mop it up. Gets it over the top. And Nicky Aaron's going to run onto it and get St Mary's first goal.
Well, that was against the run of play, that one. Against the run of play, but gee, they managed to keep it moving from defence to forward and just kept pushing it and getting it through.
Yeah, Nick Yaron, he's such an exciting player. So 2 points the difference at the 8, almost 9 minute mark of this first quarter. Darwin Buffaloes 1-2-8 to St Mary's 1 straight goal.
Well, that's St Mary's first real endeavour inside the forward 50, and they've come up with a 6-pointer.
Yeah, Nick Yaron, a multiple premiership player. He was a NT News Rising Star Award winner. He's played for NT Thunder and just a fantastic footballer. He's got great footy calibre on both sides of his family with the Coopers and the Stokeses. So exciting player. Brandon Grenfell getting it out again to Dylan Lant.
Yeah, Grenfell up against Woodbury. And there's Lionel Ogden, former Southern Districts player. Chips it straight over the top to the running Bradley Stokes. Stokes over to Coltart. Takes it easily. Swivels back inside. Looking for Jared Stokes. Punched away, though, over the top by Kieran Parnell. That'll be an interesting contest if that band's out all day.
It will be. Kieran, obviously a little bit taller than Jared, but we know how electric Jared is, and he's got that rugby sidestep that he does to shimmy around players and kick goals. He's a fantastic player, as we saw in that grand final a few years ago when he won the Cheney medal in a losing side.
Played on there. Back in board again. Centre wing. Knocked over the hands. Holtz fits. Patched on cleverly by Campbell. Couldn't quite get it. Was Nicky the first time. And it's just picked up and kicked away. Cleverly, though, by Riley Clamp. Coltart. Just a bit of physicalness crept into the game early, which is really good, and
Gallagher
a free kick so it can be paid. He got pushed in the back, I think.
Yeah, he got thrown into the fence. It was just a bit unnecessary because the ball was already out of play, and it's resulted in a free kick to St Mary's.
Can't quite see who that is from here.
It's Jack Gallagher. So come up. He played reserves before Christmas, so back in the Premier League, but it's been turned over, and Hassan Ahmet Watkins has got it in the back line there.
They just go over to the running teammate in Sterling Mitchell. Mitchell then ignores it and goes across again to Tyrone Bean. Bean has been busy. Jared Stokes, wasn't a great kick to him. Yaron, left foot in, comes out to Jack Lant. Jack just sends it straight to full forward. Atkinson dropping back there for the Buffs, and he'll take the mark. He's got Moroney out wide, but so too has he got Tanner Coltart the far side, and that's where he goes.
Yeah, Buffs just switching the play across to the far side there and just doing little chip kicks to try and get it down the field. Aaron Stokes chipping it up there.
Onto Bean. Bean's kick's not great, and it's chopped off by Luke Hillier. Hillier can just send it up to centre half forward. Setting himself his salmon off hands. Roving it on the pack there was the youngest Lant. I'm scared to say which name it was. It was Brock.
Yep.
Sold it on the ground. Bradley Stokes wrapped up. Handball away. Free kick's been paid. And Bradley Stokes will go for actually holding the ball.
Yeah, Brock Lant's got him. So Brock Lant busy early in his first game for St Mary's. We know his brother Dylan's a superstar. Delivers that ball in, but it's going to go straight to a Buffaloes player in Tanner Coulthard.
And Coulthard over the top to Jared Stokes. Gets wrapped up there by the Riley Clamp. Lucky he didn't give away a 50 there. Left go. Play on is the call. Tyrone Bean had it spent before he got it. Now they've got some pressure on him through the St Mary's midfield. They got away with it though, and free kick's been paid after possession, and it's going to go to Sterling Mitchell.
Yeah, there was just a late push there by the St Mary's player. So Buffalo's getting it inside their 50 metres, but Matt Wilkinson chopping it off in the back line. He's going to switch the play and bring it across to the grandstand side.
He's got Paredes out here who juggles it once, twice, then can't get clean away, though he does get it to Parnell. Parnell has got a runner. And the runner is Xavier Vallejo. Vallejo off to Lant. Lant looking for Calder. Punched away from him, though, by Atkinson. Calder regathers once, then gives it back to Jack Lant. Lant just a little short pass over the top to brother Dylan.
Hey, Mum, the boys are playing nicely up here in Darwin, kicking it to each other, and Dylan will line up for a shot on goal at the 13.5-minute mark of this first quarter. Nice little kick there by brother Jack.
It was, and good for Calder to have an outlet. He did very well the second effort, Jackson Calder, after having it punched away from him. And he had Jack Lant there, who was just able to just tip it over the top. So Dylan Lant will probably kick from about 45 out, almost directly in front. And he's just pushed that off to the right of the main goalpost.
I'll point the difference, Ash. Darwin Buffaloes 128, St Mary's 117. It's a very tall team that St Mary's have got in today, Ash.
Yeah, they have, and I think the conditions may well suit that because it's, like I say, the ground itself is pretty dry and there's not much breeze out there to talk of.
Well,
Dylan Lance collected it.
Off, yeah.
Left foot, he's gone towards goal. It's going to be marked just before the line.
Yes.
And
Looks like Bo Tedcastle down there.
Yeah, it is. Fresh haircut for the new year, Bo Tedcastle.
That's it. He's an exciting young footballer. He's going to swing around and just missed that one, Bo. So scores are level at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin, 1-8 apiece. Goal kickers so far, Joey Collinson and Nicky Yarran.
Yeah, scores are level. Just shows, I think Darwin really wants to assert themselves early on in this second part of the season, as Mitch Robinson just balks and then gives it over the top to his teammate Hassan Ahmat Watkins.
Yeah, looking super fit, Ahmat Watkins, and Mitch Robinson. What a pickup for Darwin Buffaloes this season.
He has, and he's maintained and stayed there the whole time. That's the best part. Holtz Fitz shows one way, then goes the other, steps inside. He's got Stafford as the target, sliding, takes the chest mark, and he'll be paid, rewarded for the effort. Was a good lead. Eldridge comes in to remonstrate with Wilkinson. It's not needed. They don't want it turned over here, the Darwin Buffaloes. It's just not needed. But, gee, that was good by Holtz Fitz.
Oh, yeah, he's a beautiful player, and another one who's won a Cheney medal out there today when he played for Nightcliff in those 3 premierships, and beautiful delivery in there to Daniel Stafford, who, as we know, is just an outstanding footballer as well.
Yeah, Stafford. You would hope that this is well within his range. He's a key forward. He's got a bit of an angle. He's going to be kicking from just inside the 50-metre mark, and he sets it up high and beautifully, and straight through the middle does the big guy.
Didn't even look like missing, Ash, as Darwin Buffaloes get their second goal on the board at the 16.5-minute mark of the first quarter. 2-14 to St Mary's, 1-8. And I've got a feeling this is going to be a ripping game, Ash.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an arm wrestle side. Both sides prepared to run with the football, and their midfielders, Robinson, Paredes, are already demonstrating how much they want to get involved. Jack and Dylan as well, the Lant brothers. And then young Holt Fitz, gee, was good. And the poise, he actually stepped around his opponent, who was Braith Hodges, and then picked out Stafford with a fantastic 40-metre pass. Yeah,
well, there were a couple of fellas that came over to Buffaloes from Nightcliff, and Holt Fitz was one of them, and another fantastic pickup. He's been a superstar. He won the NT News Rising Star. He's won a Cheney medal and a couple of premierships. So he's only young and got lots of years left in him.
Sterling Mitchell ran out there, as Mitch Robinson got the beneficiary of Mitchell's tap down. And Buffs go forward again. Stafford, the last goal scorer, gives it over to Nicky. Nicky looking for Robinson. It's going to be spoiled on the ground. Collinson picks it up. Left foot snap at goal. Can he bring it around? Hits the post.
A let off there for St Mary's, as you said, hits the post, and the score now Buffs 2-3-15. St Mary's 1-8.
There's that young Vallejo out there.
Yeah, his sister Sienna made her senior debut for the women's today, Ash.
Wow. Keeping it in the family?
Yeah, 16.
Mitchell has come across. He'll take that mark, but Parnell will chop off his kick. Well, he's got to be a chance on the rep side, you would think, Kieran Parnell.
Oh, 100%. He's just a class act. He's in the St Mary's leadership group, and there's a number of players out there today on both sides that are in the NT rep squad, which we'll talk about later. Xavier Vallejo just putting that forward, looking for Joey Salmon, and he's hit him. Yeah,
finds him. Beautiful pass there from the youngster. Salmon can go inboard. He's got a couple of options. Yarran is one, had it, lost it. Now it's punched back out. Ogden hurries it out to Atkinson. Gives it off to, Eldridge. It's going to get a kick away, though, by Yarran. Calder bounces off his chest after interference from Maroney. It's picked up by the youngest Lant, and the kick inboard. Tedcastle waited, and Ogden got it.
Your man again, Lionel Ogden, picking it off in defence and saving what was a certain goal there.
Yeah, Saints certainly had the options, didn't they?
They did.
So the Darwin defenders...
Someone, I think Chris Atkinson's coming off now with the blood rule.
He's holding his nose. A fair bit, so the player can go on straight away, and it'll be Bean. So there he is, just to that. There's a fair bit of claret there.
So 19-minute mark of the first quarter. It's been a frantic first quarter, Ash.
It's been a great standard as well, Liz, I have to say, because sometimes after Christmas. We've all had too much turkey.
It's the business end of the season. I think most clubs now drill their players into looking after themselves over the Christmas break because they need to come back and play for finals.
Mitchell on to Aaron Stokes. 3 Stokes out there today.
Yeah, brilliant footballing family.
So Aaron just plays on quickly. Kick's not great. Nicky, though, might be a beneficiary. Comes out the back into the hands of Stenning. Stennings then gets dispossessed. Then Nicky, quick hands to Campbell. This is good football. It's picked up, though, by Ryan Pendlebury. Pendlebury went looking for his teammate. Is knocked away from him courtesy of Wilkinson. Wilkinson just puts it on the boot and wants it out of the inside 50. And he's picked out Vallejo.
So speaking of Vallejo, Dad Anthony is the coach of St Mary's Men's Premier League and Cam Stokes, the coach of the Buffaloes today.
Yeah, Luke Hillier. Oh, great pass from him. Looked for Ted Castle, but for whatever reason, off his hands and out of bounds.
Yeah, Lionel Ogden was appealing for out of bounds on the full, but not sure if it was. Jared Stokes, the captain of Darwin. Nate Paredes, the captain of St Mary's.
This is going to be ruck contest. Just looking to see who it is. Well, Sterling Mitchell weighed it down cleverly, but his kick got chopped off. And that's a land.
That's Dylan.
Yep.
Looking inboard to Luke Hillier.
Hillier can play on quickly. Jackson Calder gives him a lead up forward. Moroney's all over him, though. It's going to come out the back to Tyrone Bean under pressure from Salmon. And the boundary line saves everyone.
Well, last time they played, Ash, in round 9, it was Brandon Grenfell and Jackson Calder who combined for 11 goals. So St Mary's won that by 28 points.
What round was that? 9?
9.
And I think that was the start, or if not, it was in the middle of around a 5 or 6 game winning streak for the St Mary's side.
Yep. And it was Dylan Lant and Nate Paredes who ran rampant with 60 possessions between them last time.
Oh, the hurried kick out, I think, is going to just hug the boundary line. Coulthard couldn't get it cleanly. Salmon tried. The ball will be thrown right back in where it came from.
That's Darwin that they haven't beaten a team in the top 5 this season, so a bit of pressure on them.
No, they were a bit unlucky just before Christmas. In one particular game I saw they led for 3.5 quarters and lost.
Yeah, and the game against Southern Districts they were leading by 26 points, but the game was abandoned.
Yep.
So
they haven't had much...
haven't had much luck.
No, they were good that day. I saw that first half. As the ball bounces over the top, Hassan Armat Watkins, though, gets outrun by Luke Hillier, who can't pick it up the first time. Now he's under pressure from Armat Watkins. Still in there to help is Vallejo. Running over the top, Nicky comes in to put body on. Vallejo with a third effort. Good work from the youngster. Off the ground was Nicky, quick hands. Armat Watkins now. Now they can run away with it through Thomas Clark. Clark picks out Campbell. Campbell just turns and go onto the left foot from 50. He wants to bounce it in the square. It doesn't need to, though. All clear.
The goal umpire did not even move, Ash. What a beautiful kick by Maddie Campbell. Another goal on the board for the Darwin Buffaloes, and they've broken away a little bit here. 3-3-21 to 1-2-8.
Gee, that was great persistence by young Vallejo, but at the end, the numbers on that far side of the Darwin players just got on top, and Thomas Clark just chipping into Campbell, and Campbell just showing all the experience there. Didn't wait, didn't go back, just played on quickly and straight onto his left. Classic. Yeah,
he's a class player and he's got one of the most elite kicks, as I said, so rarely misses, and for a little bloke, he can kick it a long way as well. So 23-minute mark of the first quarter here at TIO Stadium, and it's Buffs with the early lead.
Back in the middle, be Braxton Armat. For St Mary's has gone into the ruck. Jack Kreuzberger's come on. Braxton Armat, hurried hands away. Oh, heavy body there from Jack Gallagher. Mitch Robinson comes through. Bradley Stokes wraps up his opponent. Coulthard can't quite get it. Oh, really working very hard. Tyrone Bean's kick will go out of bounds on the full. They just set themselves up here.
Yeah, Lachlan Stenning looks to bring that ball back in, looking down for options.
Big kick inside the 50. Siren sounds, which has probably saved Buffs a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, so we go to the quarter-time break. Darwin Buffaloes 3-21, leading St Mary's 1-8. Goal kickers so far, Joey Collinson, Maddie Campbell and Daniel Stafford for Buffs, while for St Mary's it's just Nikki Yaron with the only goal. So go to the quarter-time break and we'll be back very soon for the second quarter.
Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Oh, picked up by
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin on beautiful Larrakia country for the second quarter of this round 13 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Darwin Buffaloes and St Mary's. And it is the Darwin Buffaloes with the early lead, 3-3-21 to St Mary's 1-2-8 at quarter time. Ash, it was a really exciting first quarter.
Yeah, it was. And both half-back lines and then their midfield started to kick in. And Darwin had some great runners through Tanner Coltart, specifically in Lionel Ogden, is showing his worth straight away for debut game, straight from Southern Districts. And then up forward, you can't beat the game of Matty Campbell and Stafford working together, and young Holt Fitz proving to be a real headache. We go back in the middle. Sterling Mitchell come up against Brandon Grenfell. Dylan Lant just soccers it off the ground. It's going to go wide. They're all going to chase it out there. Salmon will lead the race to the ball. He's under pressure from Bradley Stokes. Picked up by Dylan Lant. Upended by Bowles on the kick. Punched away, though, by Bean. Yaron comes in. Is going to get the first of it off the ground. Here they go again, Saints. Ted Castle, who went to go one way. Now he can kick it, and he hits the post.
Wow. 30 seconds into the second quarter, that would have been a perfect start for St Mary's, but a poster to Bo Ted Castle. So Darwin Buffaloes will bring the ball back in via Bradley Stokes.
He had his options. He had his opportunities early, did Ted Castle, in the first quarter. Mitch Robinson is on the receiving end. He gives it over to Sterling Mitchell. Mitchell probably an undersized ruckman when you consider that he's up against Brandon Grenfell. He'll go over the top looking for the skipper, Jared Stokes, but it'll be Kieran Parnell now. This is going to be a great battle between these two as Kieran Parnell plays on quickly, doesn't wait, sends it up looking in the direction of Calder. Dropping back there is Bean, couldn't take it first time. Yaron tries to soccer it through, and it comes to the older brother Lant. That's Jack Lant who puts it through.
So a goal to Jack Lant, 1 minute and 15 seconds into the second quarter. They've had a couple of shots on goal early as we look in the coach's box there. Carl Gunderson, Stu Davis, Gary Downs and Anthony Vallejo at the helm of St Mary's Football Club.
Yeah, a bit of experience there. Very much experienced coaching panel. And Saints, you know, what to say, Liz, that after that first 30-second foray, they always looked like they were going to rebound with something, and they did.
So Jack Lance playing his first game for the season. He's played for St Mary's for a couple of years, but a goal on the board.
We go back into the middle. Brandon Grenfell will come up against Sterling Mitchell.
Giving away a lot of size, not a little bit.
Yeah, he is. One out by Grenfell that time. Mitchell, though, roves the work and then gives a handball over the top. Eldridge versus the youngster Vallejo. Mitch Robinson.
And what a story Timmy Eldridge is. He broke his back a few years ago and to make a comeback and play football. He was bedridden for 2 months and wore a back brace after snapping his T12 vertebrae in 2018.
And not only that, 150th game today.
Outstanding, Timmy.
Yeah. Brock Lant, handball over the top to brother Jack. On to Paredes. Paredes from 45 has a chance to score, and the skipper leads the way.
Yeah, well, Nate Paredes, he's been an absolute superstar for St Mary's for the past few years. He's a 3-time club best and fairest and captain of the club, premiership captain now after last season too, Ash. So his partner is Danielle Ponta. So got some pretty handy football genes there if they
in the future
have kids one day.
Absolutely, the genetics, they'll all be tracking them. I will say, Saints looking incredibly dangerous here. And we've only gone 3 minutes.
Yeah, they've just flicked the switch, haven't they, Ash?
Yeah, they've stepped up a notch.
Anthony Vallejo's had a chat to them at quarter time and asked them to step up, and they have responded.
Well, they're kicking to the left of screen, which really hasn't got any breeze favouring. If anything, the breeze is probably favouring the right of screen.
It was actually the scoring end. I did the women's game before this, Ash, and all the goals were kicked up that end. So not sure what's happening out there today.
Hurried quick off the boot by Pendlebury. Hasn't gone very far. Coming in was Coltart. But free kick's been found. Will go to Hillier. Hillier over the top to Dylan Lant.
He's just got a paddock around him, Dylan. I'm not sure who's playing on him. Maybe go back.
Yeah, the whistle's sound. He's got to go back and reset. I'm not quite sure why, but either way, doesn't matter. Lant will get it back. Saints will keep possession. And Saints could now go forward. You're right, he had a paddock around him. Coltart tried to close up the gap. And he's not too shabby on his feet, is Coltart, but he still wasn't quick enough. Now it comes over the top to the big ruck, Grenfell. He just takes a couple of steps and then just puts it straight on the boot looking for Calder. It's gone over the back. Ted Castle's there, though. And the little guy tries to then burrow it through with his foot, but he can't.
Eddie Betts style. Eddie Betts was out at Palmerston last night doing a footy clinic for the kids, which was fantastic.
Yeah, Palmerston need him.
So Saints a point in front as Stokes brings it in and gets it to Mitch Robinson.
Robinson, just nudged out of the way, and a free kick will be found because he got a bit of too much of a nudge there from Riley Clamp. Did Nicky. Nicky over the top. Good lead pass to Stafford. Stafford, a long way from home, has gone back to Mitch Robinson.
Just chipping it around again, Buffs, which is what they did in the first quarter, trying to maintain possession, getting it into their forward line, and a good mark there to Patrick Bowles.
Well, patience was the name of the game there because it went from Stafford across to Robinson and then on to Ryan Pendlebury and then across to Patrick Bowles. And Bowles is well within his kicking distance here.
Granville just coming off, rotating with Braxton Armat running on into the ruck, obviously. Bowles will kick this from right on 50, you would think.
There's Patrick Bowles. Opportunity to set them up. It's gone off to the left, though, and right out of bounds on the full. Boundary umpire Ben Rolfe.
Jacob Long on the run, bringing it in on front of the St Mary's clubhouse. 1-2 bounces. He's going to kick it down and looking for Dylan Lant, I think, there, and a great mark in front.
Yeah, in front of Coldheart. Quick hands from Land off the ground, though. I think it's going to be chopped off by Bean. It's not Bean, it's Armat Watkins. Nicky with a handball over now to Armat Watkins, who has time to have a look up, and he does. He's got Stafford or Collinson. Collinson on the fingertips.
He almost got it.
He did, and he wasn't happy that he couldn't grab it. It was a huge effort, had he?
Yeah, great effort by Joey Collinson, and Stafford just indicating he's going to go up in the ruck. Braxton Armat walking over. Doesn't look as excited about going up in the ruck. I think it's Braxton who...
I don't know. Braxton's got his arm heavily bandaged for St Mary's. Yes, he is number 21.
Yeah, and Grenfell's got his knee heavily bandaged.
Yeah.
So twinning.
Must be something about the rucks. Stafford will take front position, though. Throws a bit off. Or taken high there was Robinson. Let go, though. Play on is the call. Yaron couldn't grab it. Armat Watkins. He gets wrapped up. He's put it on the ground and he's been ankle tapped according to umpire Gow. And Armat Watkins' kick wasn't great. Smothered. Hurried it too much. And Dylan Lant puts it on the boot. Looking for Calder. Tries to smother it. It bounces away. Salmon with pace. Beats one. Can he beat two? No, he can't. He gets his legs wrapped up. Let go. Play on is the call. Loose on the ground. Intensity's out there. Ted Castle. He tries to pick it up. Salmon now tries to push off. Gets around one. Right foot snap at goal. Off to the right.
He just couldn't get the handball out. He had options all around him, but the pressure by Buffaloes there was fantastic, and Bradley Stokes will bring it in again. A 2-point ball game here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Yeah, this is good intensity and worthy of two potential finalists as Jared Stokes over the top to Ryan Pendlebury.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches of the other top teams will all be watching on with interest. Kieran Parnell just spoiling that. Jack Lant dodging and weaving. He puts it on the left, looking for Jackson Calder, but cut off there by Chris Atkinson from Buffs.
Yeah, Atkinson. Vrodos just waiting for it back there, which is why he got taken out. And Moroney there gets it from Coulthart. So Tanner Coulthart then runs on to give him another option and gets it back on the 50-metre paint. So Buffs again, as you said, Liz, prepared to chip it around just to control the game as Robinson had his legs taken out from underneath him and held and will get a free kick. And he just chips it over the top. Not a great kick, but it's found Lionel Ogden. Ogden can go inboard to Jared Stokes. He's going to get it on the first bounce. Break one, then breaks through. Then from 50, puts it out in front of Stafford. Over the top of him. It's going to bounce away, though. Be cleaned up by the St Mary's defender in Riley Clamp. Back across the face of the goal to Parnell. On to Jacob Long. Long His kick's not great. Robinson diving, intercepts it and loses control, and the ball goes out of bounds in front of Paredes.
It was like a soccer save there by Mitch Robinson.
Was.
I've been watching Ted Lasso these holidays. Have you watched that?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I highly recommend it to all sports fans. It's a ripper series. So a ball in at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter on the far side of the ground. Armat going up, misses everyone. I think there's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to Buffs. They're holding the ruck. And I would think it's going to go to Darwin defender, and that was Tyrell Woodbury. His kick looking for Campbell. Campbell over the top was long. That's a great competition, although Campbell just gave him a bit of a... Long just gave him a nudge, and Campbell's going to get a free kick out of it. I thought so. Yeah. Umpire was Johnny on the spot, so...
Matty will not milk it, but make it worth it. So he's going to have a shot on goal from about 50 metres right up against the boundary line. Short pass.
No, he's going to go short, and he picks out young...
Tommy Clark.
Yeah, and Clark... So this is what you were saying, Liz, that Darwin's just chipping around as Clark plays on quickly with a right foot. It's going to drop short. Stafford couldn't quite get there. He wasn't watching properly, Stafford, and ran into the goal umpire, and it went through for a point. Lant, though, plays on quickly and sends it back to the midfield. Armat Watkins gets it. Stokes, Bradley. Now he gets it. Handball out. Jarrett, handball over the top. Armat Watkins from 50 just wants it sent forward and out of bounds on the full. They're prepared to throw it around, aren't they?
I'm watching Matty Campbell get frustrated in the goal square there. He's hungry today. He wants it. He wants to kick goals. They've got Daniel Stafford up there as another option, the two Centralians, and Matty's on the mark now trying to put Jacob Long off.
Jacob, big kick. Well and truly outside the 50, but the mark's going to get taken by Armat Watkins, who gives it off to Robinson, who picks out Nicky. Cockham Nicky, he's been very, very good today.
Yeah, he's a great player. Another one who used to play for Nightcliff and crossed over to Buffs. He looks to play on quickly, but decides to go back and take his shot. But beautiful setup there by Mitch Robinson. I said before how important he's been to the Buffs this season, and I know how much he's loving living in Darwin too, getting into his fishing and everything. Let's see what Nicky can do with this one.
Well, I'd rather see Daniel Stafford set himself up in the goal square in case it dropped short like that, and it went through, but Stafford was nowhere near the goal line.
Doesn't look like he wants to run. He's sort of walking around and looking like he might be carrying an injury.
On that right side.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
So Nigel,
Aaron Stokes couldn't quite get it there, but you're right about Stafford. But when there's a kick in like that from Nicky, if he sets himself up on that goal line, he can at least run at the ball, which is what he's not doing.
No, and Wilkinson's giving away so much in height that Stafford should be able to hold his ground and mark it. So a throw in on the far side. Armat hitting the ball down to Dylan Lant, gets the kick away, but it's going to be chopped off. No, Nicky Yaron's got it, gets the handball out. Armat Watkins tries to get a kick out, but only gone as far as his teammate Woodbury and goes straight back to Armat Watkins.
Who looked for Rick Robinson. Robinson spilled it. They still keep the pressure on them though, and the umpire says, I'll ball it up.
So it's 3-5-23 apiece, 13-minute mark of the second quarter.
Braxton jumped over the top though, was Woodbury. With a Bork handball, now it comes over. Stafford there, didn't quite want to bend over and get it. Didn't. They're trying to run it out. Gallagher soccers it off the ground. Clamp.
Nigel Lockyer just bursting through, puts it on the boot out in front of Jackson Calder, who's in a foot race there with Chris Atkinson. He picks it up, tries to get the handball away, but it hasn't really hit a target. Timmy Eldridge, the 150 game player today, gets the handball out, but it goes straight across the line. Yeah,
Tyrone Bean having to do extra amount of work there. And two big men in Calder and Atkinson didn't really want to bend down and pick that ball up.
If I was 6'5", I wouldn't want to bend down and pick it up either and make me run. I'm a full forward and I want it delivered to me. So
it was left to the likes of Bean and Eldridge to clean that up, and they didn't quite get there. They both dropped back to the full forward.
It's a good match-up though. Chris Atkinson, who's normally in the ruck, on Jackson Calder.
Jack Lant pushes one off and then just tips it over to the youngest brother, Brock.
Like backyard footy. So
Yeah.
Brock Lant in his first game for St Mary's, looking inboard for an option.
So let's see what he can do from 50. He's just gone for the short pass, looking for Calder, and hits him on the chest.
There it is, Jackson Calder. Last season, I should say, Cheney medalist, kicking 5 goals in the grand final win for St Mary's. He's named again in the rep squad this season in a few weeks. St Mary's have got about 7 or 8 players in there. Buffs have got about 4 in the squad at the moment. Let's see if he can get this goal on the board.
This is well within his kicking range. Angle shouldn't be a problem for him. He's kicked him from everywhere in his time in the AFL NT, and he's done it again.
Jackson Calder kicking a goal for St Mary's, and don't the coaching box like that. Carl Gunderson with a big smile on his face. He played in the off-season for the Kansas City Lions with Aaron Davey and won that premiership. Ryan Smith and Timmy Eldridge, who's out there today playing against him, was also involved. So he's won 2 premierships in the last year.
Well, they've held their own and they've nudged in front. St Mary's, they trailed by 13 points at the quarter-time break and then opened up this second term with 2 quick goals.
Yeah, 4 individual goal kickers. So no one really dominating. They're just sharing the ball around at the moment.
Mitchell against Grenfell. One out by Grenfell easily to Lant. Lant with a left foot to centre-half forward. Salmon, though, set himself up from behind. The umpire there has paid a mark.
Chris Atkinson.
Yeah, Atkinson got in front. Picks out Lionel Ogden.
Chris's mum Brenda, the president of the Darwin Buffaloes, and his dad's always around. Absolutely lovely fella, always helping around the club. Buffaloes bringing the ball down now along the Morris Rioli wing, looking for Timmy Eldridge.
Eldridge, right foot, looking for Campbell. Campbell's off his hands, running on his Nicky. Parnell to come in and clean up, and he does. Handball, though, is over the top. Comes to Riley Clamp. Clamp was looking for his teammate in standing. It got to him, but under pressure, it's gone out of bounds. Eldridge in heavy traffic there, just weaved his way through.
There's not much of Timmy, but he's got a very big heart and puts his body on the line.
Parnell showing all the poise of the defender. Set themselves up. Grenfell just keeps him out. Brock Lant had his handball interfere with Collinson with a left foot kick. Taking that mark, though, is Clamp.
Great mark.
Yeah.
2 Buffaloes players on him and took it on the chest. Riley Clamp.
Well, be careful.
Don't want to give away a 50-metre here, Buffs.
No. It's Clamp. Tanner Coulthard stands the mark. Clamp's kick over the top. Pendlebury got a hand on it. Lockyer over to Dylan Lant. Lant's kick over the top to Salmon. 2 bites. Second bite got knocked out of his hand, though. Bean cleverly then put it on the boot. Picks out Collinson. Good vision. Collinson over the top to Jared Stokes. He can go back. He's going to take his... He can't play on, and he doesn't have a huge amount of options. He could go long to Stafford, who's presenting himself, and he's going to hit Stafford on the chest.
There were 3 St Mary's players around him then, and he hit him on the chest.
Fantastic. So Stafford will go back, and you would think he will have a shot from here. Let's see how he goes. We've actually not got a bad view of him. The camera angle is right over, or right from behind. Good view of his number. And he will kick from either the 50-metre or a bit further out. Just inside the 50. It's a great-looking kick from Stafford, but he's just pulled it ever so slightly to the left.
So another behind to the Darwin Buffaloes. The score now, St Mary's 4-5-29, leading Darwin Buffaloes 3-6-24. 18.5-minute mark of the second quarter here at TIO Stadium. Joey Salmon are flying for a mark there, and he's going to be paid a free kick for chopping of the arms, I think, Ash.
Yeah, marking infringement definitely there. It goes over the top to his skipper, Nate Paredes. Paredes has got a runner out wide as that young Vallejo, and it is, gets to the 50, and he can send it inboard, picks out Tedcastle. I think he was looking for Yaron, but he had 2 options anyway.
It was a nice deft little kick by Xavier Vallejo, and he and Bo Tedcastle would have played a lot of junior footy together. They're about the same age, and both doing really good things at senior level. They're both only 18 and got a bright future ahead of them.
Yeah, Saints have always been able to, have always had an excellent junior factory.
So Bo Tedcastle, he's missed a couple today. Let's see if he can get a major on the board.
Puts it up nice and high and through. So he gets his. Is that his second for the day?
No, he hasn't kicked one yet. Yep, so
that's his first. He's had a few opportunities.
Yeah, he's missed a couple, hit the post. There's 5 individual goal kickers for St Mary's so far today, Ash. So the score now 5-5-35. Saints leading down Buffaloes 3-6-24. And Bo Tedcastle, a goal on the board. As I said, an outstanding junior who played. I'm pretty sure he debuted when he was about 15 or 16 in the senior team. And was away at boarding school at St Pat's in Ballarat, and a very good footballing factory that is, as we know.
Yep. So 11 points the difference here at TIO Stadium. We're in the run home. 6 rounds.
It's exciting, Ash.
It is. One out there by Woodbury, smothered off the boot though. It comes to Paredes. Paredes can just turn and kick it long. Calder on the lead. Coming in there was Bean, who punches it away, and there's Tedcastle again with a bouncing kick. Ogden, though, is going to clean it up. Last line of defence for the Darwin Buffaloes is Ogden, looking for Eldridge. Eldridge gets the second chance at it, can't quite do it. It's 3-on-1. Still in there with help was Lockyer. Eldridge again. Thought he was taken high, let go, but no, he was taken high first time.
Yeah.
Eldridge is saying, let's just slow it down a little bit here.
It's just that late arm over the shoulder there, and Timmy's going to slow it down, kick it back inside, looking for Stokes.
Yep, he's got Stokes there.
St Mary's player down too, in the hands of trainers, just out of camera angle there. Trying to pick up who that is. It looks like Nick Yarron.
It does, and he's limping heavily. So Ryan Pendlebury over to Stokes, who's drifted up. That's Jared Stokes. And Stokes with a great kick to Vrodos. Vrodos could wait for that. Dangerous. Mitch Robinson telling Vrodos to put it over the back, which is exactly what he's trying to do. Robinson with a flyer, but Stafford got it, and he's going to pay it against Robinson, who was up before acceptances, and Riley Clamp will be the recipient. Well, Robinson had a fly.
He did. It was very exciting. Riley Clamp, he's a Sandford player from Adelaide, so pretty good credentials.
Lockyer putting Armat Watkins under pressure. Dylan Lant can't quite pick it up. Loose on the ground. It comes out the back though. Brodos's kick lands in the arms of Salmon. Salmon is chased by Collinson and put under pressure. Vallejo though gets it in the middle of the ground. He can look further upfield. Yarron suddenly recovered. He's running well on both feet. So Nicky Yarron, if he can pick it up, he can run around 1. Can't run around 2. Gives it off to Paredes, who's drifted it down. Now he gives it over to his teammate Jack Lant, who scores his second goal.
Well, a second goal, as you said, to Jack Lant after a chain of handballs. Nick Yarron is still limping, but he got the job done and got a goal for his team. St Mary's 6-5-41, leading Darwin Buffaloes 3-6-24. But Xavier Vallejo has been excellent the last few minutes, Ash.
Well, I thought he had a pretty good first quarter, to be honest with you. He contributed and played the role of a link man very well in that first quarter, which is what you sort of want around that midfielder.
Well, he's got his dad, Anthony, in the coach's box, and his uncle, Iggy, is the runner. Uncle Iggy, obviously the league record holder for the whole league, and the Northern Territory Football League. So I think 329 games or something like that, and about 10 premierships. So, yeah, I think Mum Tracy's out there running water as well. And as I said, Sienna played in the women's today, so a family affair for the Vallejos.
Taken high there was Kruiserberger, and so he will have a kick, and then he got dealt with afterwards, but it's let go. Play on is the call. Rodos will run away with it over the top of Nicky. One-handed though, slapped up. Great mark by Clamp.
Yeah, he's starting to really come into this game. As I said, a Sandford footballer from Adelaide, so he's got some pretty good credentials. Kieran Parnell kicking it into Luke Hillier.
Hillier just is going to settle it down and go out to young Vallejo, who found space. And like I said here, that link is what you want. He gives it over the top to Jacob Long and to Hillier, and now it's on to Long. Long over to Lant, and then inboard.
Matt just kicks it off the ground.
Braxton Matt. It's going to come to, if Salmon can get clean hands, he can't. Ogden, though, will give it away to Timmy Eldridge, who has a bit of a run, taps it down. Now he's got to get a quick kick away, and he does. Lant versus Jared Stokes, picked up by Dylan Lant. Brock Lant.
And the siren sounds.
And the siren sounds in the first half. What a cracking first half, Liz.
Yeah, great turnaround there by St Mary's. They were 13 points down going into quarter time, but now in the lead by 11 points. 5-5-35 to Darwin Buffaloes 3-6-24. We've had 5 goal kickers for Saints: Nate Paredes, Nicky Yarran, Jackson Calder and Bo Ted Castle with singles, and Jack Lant with 2. While for Buffaloes, Joey Collinson, Matty Campbell and Daniel Stafford all with a goal apiece. We'll go to the halftime break and be back for a big second half very soon.
Quick hands coming through. Here they go, Lambton inside the 50 looking for a leading teammate and picks him straight out. And that was a good start to it, and in fact it was Pedersen at the start.
The start of the season, as we said, he's been missing the past few weeks. Comes in now, and that's a beautiful kick towards goal. Straight over the umpire's head, and Palmerston on the board within a minute in this one. Great kick from Cam Pedersen.
Can go inside there 50 very quickly inside this second term. Jackson in there. It's come to the back of Butler. Butler with a little kick that's gone through.
Tigers get the first to the second, reduce the margin to just a point. It'll fall short. Powers in the square. Bounces again into the pocket. First 2 will be Heath Morgan-Morris. He snaps around the corner. Will that go through? It will. What a goal from Heath Morgan-Morris. Palmerston get their second in a couple of minutes.
A few free kicks today, Will, for my liking. From a young player as Wilson comes in and a long way out. It's a great looking kick off the boot. Straight through the middle. The goal umpire did not move.
Milestone man celebrates and looks like he's coming to the bench for a well-deserved spell.
There by Nathan Brown when the ball was in the air in the ruck contest. In the marking contest. Well, Pedersen there, was playing for it. It's come to the hands of his teammate Lambton, whose left foot snap is true.
Here comes Paris Chong, gets a handball to Paris. Paris now to Wilson. Wilson has got numbers. He goes a handball and it'll come back to Paris. Paris then kicks it on to Wilson, who kept running, and he's got Eilert by himself forward. That's where he'll go now. Eilert will play on and go across goal into the corridor. Kick doesn't hit his target, but it's with Hooper. Hooper will stroll in for a certain goal, you would think, and it's straight over the umpire's head. Reduces the margin to just 9 points. 3-7-25. Nycliffe trailing Palmerston. 5-4-34. Didn't want to kick it, wanted to hand over to Mensch. Good option in the end. He gets inside 50. On the left, on the run towards goal. Umpire barely moved. What a goal that was from Baxter Mensch. And turns the tide again. Extends the lead to 9 points.
Play on is the call. Brown will set it up high to the contest up forward. Eilert came through, got his hands on it, couldn't get it cleanly. Comes over the top to Hartlett. Hartlett, though, back to Nyhouse. Now it's shrugging it off is Politis. Politis with the right foot. 15 metres out. All clear.
Businesses and councils to develop domestic violence action plans and building community capacity in establishing and supporting men and women in these areas. Back to the play, and Brody Philo, or is it Andrew Hooper, has kicked the first goal of this final term. Put the Tigers in front, I think, for the first time today.
He picks out Wilson, who has a bounce. He's got to kick under pressure, and he does. Puts it up forward, looking for Hooper, who has 2. Comes down, if you like, to Paris Chong, who just guides it through. Trego with. Here they go again, Pints. This time it's looking better, and it's straight into the hands of Silver Yusuf. About him, named Quicksilver at the club. Silver Yusuf comes in, makes no mistake, and puts the Green Ants' first goal on the board. From Trotter, he's too far out to score, you would think. He's going to have to put it on the boot in the front of the square, and he does. Yusuf presents himself, but it comes over the back and has landed in the hands of Ciavarella. Directly in front. He's only going to kick from, he might be 40. Directly in front. And I think he snuck that into the point to the left of the goalpost, and it's all clear. The youngster, he plays on, runs around his opponent, and from 50 it's a wobbly old kick that's going to drop short. Yaron is there to pick up the pieces. Left foot snap, goes at goal, and the skipper leads. Dives on his opponent's back. Trigo with advantage. Advantage paid. Picked up there. Up forward, it looks like McMahon. No, in fact, it is Ryan. And he just runs around and right foot snap, puts it through. And now he's told to play on. He does. Oh, it's just dropped into the hands of Ciavarella, who just turns and goes at goals. And from 35 metres out, has put Pint 6th on the board. Foot race to the ball is Ted Castle. He gets around one, handballs back to Chiswell. Chiswell just takes 2 steps and with a little left foot kick, puts it through. Great arm wrestle. As Oborne's kick is wobbly, but I tell you what, I think it's done enough and it's gone through. Critical. The Green Machine's in front by a point for the first time tonight. Once again from the Green Ants. Oh, it's not a great kick. He waited for it, did Mullane. Not good. Comes out to Salmon. Salmon with a right foot snap. And I think Saints have just extended their lead by 6 points. Mitch Musgrove. Can he turn 7 points into 13? I think he has. Yes, directly in front. Makes no mistake. Marked by Ethan Smith. They're just getting it moved on now. They just don't, they can't, they know that the time is against them. Oh, the kick was intercepted. It's going to go back to Bo Tedcastle. He had a chance to play on and run on, but he didn't. He knows how much time is left. He's already kicked one in the second term. Can he kick a second in the fourth?
Looks good.
And he sure can.
The head, I think, and he'll take the free kick. He's called to play on and then gets tackled with the ball and gives away the free kick. Advantage being taken by Dion Munkara. Runs into the open goal unmanned, and all the Buffaloes can do is stand around and argue about it, but the first goal is on the board to Tui George. Under pressure, Pendlebury got his hands to the ball now. Hand passes off Jared Stokes with a snap at goal. Looks pretty good. It is good, and that's a terrific finish. And his kick is chopped off here by Rioli on the left foot, goes long towards goal. Looks pretty good. It is good. It's straight through, so an opportunist goal there for Braden Rioli. Is strong hands overhead. He wastes no time, sees Holt Fitz in the pocket. That's a beautiful pass. Hand passes over the top, easy as you like. Whelan on the goal line, and he just walks it through for another goal to Darwin. So Whelan doing the ruck work, hooks it back. Brodos runs onto it, picks it up nicely, gets a hand pass across to Pendlebury. Pendlebury out on the left foot, brings that one back nicely and through for a goal. Junior dives on it for two. He works it forward, and that's good teamwork as Benell. Beautiful spearing pass inside, and they've opened it up here. They've got players ahead of the ball. Stanley Tipalura on the end. received it from Purantata Mary, and Tipalura ran into the open goal by Lanyon. So Lanyon plays on quickly, finds Dunn. Dunn goes out wider again to Mikey Coombs in some space and time. He chips the ball into the goal square, and I think it's that man again in Stanley Tipalura, who was waiting on the goal line, uncontested, and just thumps through another goal. So goes short looking for Purantata Mary. He gets on the end of it now on the bounce, kicks inside forward 50, finds Michael Dunn in some space. Dunn runs on, and he's kicked the goal for Tiwi. So from that spilt mark, in not much movement of the ball, but Holt Fitz with an opportunity, just swings around on his left foot, pulled that one back beautifully. He liked it from the time it came off the boot, and he knew exactly what he was doing, got the angles right. 50, the kick was good, and out in front of Pendlebury, he took it on the chest. Now he's got Holt Fitz in some space forward, and foot previously, this time on the right foot from out in front. No mistake, straight through the middle, knows what he's doing with those ones, and TIO NTFL Men's Premier League match. So Robinson just swings out, kicks long to the goal line. I think it's just got over the hands of the players on the goal line. It's 3-4 a goal to Robinson, and Darwin have finished this game.
That's one of their great assets, but they go forward. Over the back, can't take the mark. Front and square, kick on goal, and I reckon that's Ronald Fijo. And within about 20 seconds of the start of the game, if there is a breeze, it'll be at his back. Smith just crosses the paint of 50, works it back beautifully, and District's on the board once again. A goal to Smith. Barry, left footer, runs around, kicks on goal. Dylan Barry's got the third one for Districts, and we are 5.5 minutes into the first term. Districts 3-1, Tars yet to score. Back by Charlie McAdam, son of Gilbert. Ball on the ground, in dispute, runs in, picks up, kicks on goal, and nails it. That's Brodie Carroll, the skipper. Swings it. Knocks the ball forward, running hard at the football. Here's Fijo again. Can he get a couple for the term? He can. He is the opportunist extraordinaire. Ball on the ground. Brodie Carroll breaks free. The left footer kicks on goal. Can he switch it up? He can. Brodie Carroll, what a player he is. 8:49 Magro, the stuttering run, then straightens up, then kicks and does it beautifully. He has 5. Up they go. Dennis, got it easy, gets the ball down, runs in, over the back, lovely kick, lovely mark, and that'll be Big Sam Dunstan. Yeah. Yep, very deliberately, runs in. He's a noted goal kicker, and he nails it. That was just beautiful. Straight off the boot, wasn't it? On break.
That's right, in the pre-Christmas season.
Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Series of handballs. Mentha kicks in hope and kicks it nicely. Mark taken. I reckon this is Schwarz. Very deliberate. Now he trots. Schwarz puts it up in the air, and I reckon the slipstream has put it through. Bo Schwarz has his third.
Running around over snap and into the big bulk of Kirby.
Picked up, and it's a goal. That is a miraculous goal. That is an absolutely miraculous goal. Harry McGuinness.
Waratah yet.
Dennis
That's the players I'm talking about.
gets it out in the Smith direction. Good tackle. I think one of the features, Mentha picked it up, kicks on goal and kicks a goal. How easy is this game, says Jack Mentha.
6 more than the number on his back.
Magro drops it onto the boot and has 7.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the third quarter of this round 13 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League game between the Darwin Buffaloes and St Mary's, and we've got an absolutely ripping game on our hands, so don't go anywhere for the second half. St Mary's have turned a 13-point deficit around to a 17-point lead at half time. Ash Manakaris will get us back underway for the second half.
Grenfell versus Mitchell, one out by Grenfell Lant pushed off the ball there, picked up by Bowles, hasn't really injected himself in the game much today. As Coltart, he gives it off to Coltart. Coltart on the boot to Stafford. So Darwin going forward straight away. And Stafford turns straight in board and picks out Mitchell, who's come all the way down from the ruck contest. And Sterling Mitchell will go back and have a shot at goal 25 seconds into this third term, the premiership quarter.
It was great running there by Sterling Mitchell and great vision by Daniel Stafford, who was looking a little bit more mobile, running out to take that mark.
Yeah, I think Darwin is going to have to get a couple of its playmakers to lift, and one of them was Bowles. He got his hands on it earlier. Sterling Mitchell comes in and just guides that through. So Darwin claw one back and the margin becomes 11 points.
And that's exactly what Darwin Buffalo's coach Cam Stokes would have asked of his troops at half-time, and to get a goal in under the first minute of the third quarter is just what they needed. So the score now, St Mary's 6-5-41, leading Darwin Buffaloes 4-6-30 here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Yeah, we need the work rate a little bit, I think, or Darwin needs the work rate a little bit of Patrick Bowles to lift slightly. Ryan Pendlebury got into the game a little bit in that second half of the second term, and I think we're going to have to see more out of them. Robinson's been in and out, but for some reason Robinson's been more concerned with the umpiring than he's been on concentrating on the football.
And on the flip side, Nigel Lockyer is one who's had a few possessions but yet to really inject himself for St Mary's, and we know how damaging he can be. Brandon Grenfell gets it out of the ruck with a big kick into the forward 50. Jack Lant just leaps on it, turns around and kicks it, and he's kicked his third goal for the day.
Yeah, and he made that look pretty easy, did Jack Lant. He kicked two in the second term. He's kicked his third just then, and Jackson Calder loved it.
He's got such great composure. He really, he's not tall, but he keeps his feet and really good balance through the hips. And yeah, he's just thrown that on the boot and kicked an absolute ripper. So St Mary's bite back within a minute. The score 7-5-47. Darwin Buffaloes 4-6-30.
Yeah, back to 17 points, and that's the kind of response you want. And we were talking off air that St Mary's just look like they are a little bit got a slightly bit more determination, and just across the field they've probably got a few more contributors, and that's why I think Darwin needs one or two of its better players to just lift their work rate slightly. As Pendlebury taps it forward, Bellagio been one of Saints better today, the young fella. It gives it off to a teammate, but it gets intercepted. Parides got dragged down without possession of the football, and Nate Parides, Saint skipper, will get it. Hurry up and give it back, Mitchell. And it was like...
yeah.
Well, Parides, I think, was a little bit of gamemanship there. Could have grabbed it, didn't. Umpire didn't fall for it.
Took a long time to give it back.
He did take a long... He was certainly pushing the boundary, was Mitchell, as Parides just puts it straight on the boot. He's got Calder in a pack, who bounces off his shoulder. Ted Castle roves it. Ogden's in there. Lant went to ground, then let loose of the ball. Aaron Stokes picks it up, gives it over to the running Coulthard, or Moroney, that is, sorry. No, in fact, it was Coulthard. On to Stokes. Stokes over the top. He's got Nicky, punched away, though, by Parnell. And Cockham, Nicky and Parnell contested out to the boundary line. I get those two confused on the far side, Moroney and Coulthard, because of the man buns.
Well, 3.5 minutes into this third quarter, and it's as exciting as the first half. We've enjoying our footy from up here in the commentary box today as we watch umpire Jade Ferry throw that in from in front of the scoreboard over the Wanderers side.
Yeah, Mitchell's just given up front position there, and Grenfell just made it easy. And comes out the back. Robinson, hurried kick, bounces. Campbell just taps it back inside. Cleather. Oh, Stokes with a one-handed pick up. Now this is danger for the Saints. It's picked up by Stafford. That's a goal.
That is an unbelievable pickup by Jared Stokes to make that goal happen, Ash.
I don't know if we've got a replay on that or not, but if we have, that will be amazing to see Jared Stokes' teammates going over there to congratulate him.
Unbelievable. He just keeps his feet. He's so low down and just picks it up one-handed and gets it across to Daniel Stafford, who got the job done. His second goal for the day. The score, St Mary's 7-5-47, leading Darwin Buffaloes 5-6-36. They just showed the replay on the big screen.
Oh, they showed the replay on the big screen?
But not at home, and that was unreal. I might have to watch that again during the week.
Yeah, that was a great passage of footy, and Matty Campbell right in the middle of it there, clever to tap it forward.
He's up and about, Matty. He's got so much energy. He just lifts players around him. He talks and talks and gets his teammates up, and he talks to the opposition and gives them a few bits of advice as well.
Grenfell with a big slap. Oh, Lant with a big physical contest. Although it's come to Robinson. Robinson to Armat Watkinson. He's also Watkins. He's also been good. Now we see Lockyer for the first time this term pick it up. Gives it off to Hillier. Hillier on that far side.
Dylan Lant very slow to get up there from that collision with Timmy Eldridge.
Oh, Calder with a big grab. No, didn't get control according to the umpire. Free kick's been paid. He's been held in the contest, and it will go to Calder. A supportive, what they call a support free kick. And so Calder went for one grab, had a second grab, and umpire Gow saying that he was dragged down so he couldn't get the final control and held when he wasn't in possession. So a free kick paid. So Calder has an opportunity here. And he has been one of the players that has, you probably would have thought that he would have had 2 or 3 by this stage. He's certainly got 1. So in the third term, he's lining up for an opportunity to get his second, and makes no mistake.
Jackson Calder, second goal of the day, the champ, as they call him at St Mary's. And my kids got a puppy the week after the grand final, Ash, and called it Champ. So now we have Champ at home, but he's been a superstar in the NTFL for the last few seasons, playing that full forward role, Cheney medalist. There's another blood rule here. Chris Atkinson again, still having trouble with that nose.
Yeah. And
but back to Jackson Calder. Just a fantastic, a true full forward, finishing with a second goal. The score now, St Mary's 8-5-53, leading Darwin Buffaloes 5-6. 36. It's the 7-minute mark of the third quarter here at TIO Stadium in Darwin, and a really interesting round of footy this weekend, Ash, and a big couple of weeks coming up.
Yeah, it is. I think everyone wants to consolidate their spot, certainly for the finals and insiders. Braxton Armat won that out. Coulthard couldn't get it. Braxton Armat could, and he gives it underground handball to Paredes. Paredes looking for Jack Lant, couldn't get it. Bouncing off them was Salmon. Salmon beats one, then gets dragged down by a speedster in Eldridge. Now it comes to Jack Lant. Well, he had visions of a fourth, I think, and out of bounds, he's kicked it as Eldridge and Lant are going to have conversation on the boundary fence. Umpires need to get in there. I'm not quite sure what that's about, as Lionel Ogden just gets the ball moving.
Yeah, doing the right thing there. Play continues on. I'm not sure Timmy ran in unhappy about something, but Buffs have got possession out on the far wing, swinging around, trying to hit the target there, and it looks like
it's Pendlebury. They got Pendlebury right on the chest, and Pendlebury can go to Robinson. He got a bounce? He taps it over the top cleverly to Holtz Fitz. Holtz Fitz from 40 directly in front, tries to swing it onto his left and couldn't quite get there. Gee, he had more time than he thought then. Holtz Fitz.
Yeah, and was so clever there by Mitch Robinson just to tap it over to Liam, he can do some magic things, as we know.
Yep, this is Parnell. Paredes. He's got space, and it finds Vallejo with a great pass, who gives it straight off to a running Dylan Lant. Lant has time. He's got to go backtrack now. He probably could have got a kick away much quicker, and he didn't. He comes to Gallagher, one of the newer names in this side, as Gallagher puts it forward to Calder, off hands. There's a mountain of traffic there. Ogden dives through, over to Nicky. Nicky gives it off to Stokes, Bradley Stokes. Then back to Pendlebury. Going to hold it up in the middle.
Great delivery by foot there to Ryan Pendlebury.
Now Pendlebury's kick finds Jared Stokes, the speedster. Speedster skipper. Over to Bradley. He can have a bounce. He's looking for Robinson. Robinson just charges through.
Well, hasn't Kieran Parnell had an interesting couple of months playing on Gary Ablett and Mitch Robinson and getting all the big names here in the NTFL?
Well, it's a good way. It's a good way to test yourself out. He's been given some big tasks.
The Wiz, they call him, Kieran, a very highly respected player at St Mary's and former Thunder player. Pendlebury getting the handball across quickly to Jared Stokes. He's going to put it on the right. Looking for a teammate.
Well, they all watched it bounce then. Vallejo was the only one that wanted to pick it up, and he did. Gives it off to Brock Lant. In fact, that was Stenning. It'd come off to the hands of Bradley Stokes. Paredes will clean it up. It's going to go across to Nicky Yarran. If he can get it before the boundary line, he can't. Oh, taken out heavenly off the play there.
Gallagher.
Was Gallagher.
Good to see Nick Yarran running freely again. Yeah. Jack Gallagher, he's played in and out of Saints the last 2 seasons, Premier League and reserves. He's the nephew of Barry O'Brien, a former St Mary's superstar, living in Queensland now. And the O'Briens are very much part of the St Mary's family. As we see Buffs clear that out. Nicky running through the middle, looking for Matty Campbell.
Oh.
And Parnell.
Parnell had eyes for the ball only and took it cleanly on his chest, and he gives it off to Hillier, and Hillier can go over the top to Paredes. Paredes go in short, finds Lockyer.
Kieran Parnell's been instrumental in a couple of key players coming up to St Mary's from South Australia, like Clamp and Josh Smithson. He went to boarding school with them as Lockyer lays a big hit on Timmy Eldridge. No call yet from the umpire.
No prior opportunity, and the ball will be thrown up.
Timmy getting up slowly in his 150th game, a fantastic achievement by Timmy Eldridge. I read an article about him this week. He said his favourite and hardest opposition was Shannon Rioli, and they later played together at NT Thunder. So great.
Jared Stokes over to Nicky. Nicky. Oh, there was a big push out there from Armat Watkins.
Braith Hodges.
Yeah, and Braith Hodges will get it. Across to Luke Hillier. Doesn't waste any time. Parnell again. Back and forth. Jack Gallagher goes in short and finds Jack Lant. Jack Lant steps inside. He's going to back himself on the right from 35 out directly in front. And it's just offline for a point.
Well, he's kicked 3 straight. Now he's had 1 out on the full and a point. So he's had a number of scoring shots today, Jack Lant. Been very dangerous in his first game back as Buffs kick it back in. Patrick Bowles has got it inside the defensive 50. Looking for a teammate there and hits up Tanner Coulthard.
Yeah, Coulthard. He's been one of Darwin's better players today. He too has also played the role of a link between the half back and half forward, but the kick then was just no good as Clamp read it beautifully and positioned himself right in the spot. So Riley Clamp over the top to Lockyer, and Lockyer can go in board. He's got 2 options. The big guy Grenfell wins out just purely based on height, I reckon, as Grenfell looking for Calder.
Jack Lant.
And Jack Lant is there. Punched away from him, loose on the ground. He balks one way, Calder goes the other. He's wrapped up and brought to ground. And no free kick is awarded because he didn't have any prior.
So a ball up, 15 metres out from a St Mary's goal. Very dangerous here for Darwin Buffaloes as we see Woodbury run in to take the ruck against Jackson Calder. Good field position for St Mary's. Calder can't get it cleanly. Coming through there was Stokes with pace. Over to Aaron Stokes. He got it away from 1 into Bean. Bean's going to step one way and then just kick it and get it out of there, and it's going to bounce. And there is Thomas Clark. Clark gets it once. He's got a runner in Campbell and then let him go. So Clark keeps it and goes wide to Nicky. Nicky's going to have to wait. Matty Campbell can keep running if he wants to and head towards the full forward square. He's got Parnell on him though, and goes out wide to Ogden. So Lionel Ogden making his debut for the Darwin Buffaloes today. Sends it over, and in there was Wilkinson. Just used the body against Stafford, asking the question, let go, play on, and it's in the hands of Jacob Long. Long looking for Salmon. He does. Joseph Salmon takes 2 steps and picks out Calder. He's a long way from home, and there's only one in the square, and it's Dylan Lant. Gives it over the top to Nigel Lockyer on the run. Can he get it cleanly? He can't. Tanner Coulthard picks it up. It doesn't go 15. Salmon with a crashing tackle. Absolutely crunched him, Joey Salmon. He realised the kick wasn't going to go 15 metres, and he made sure that Woodbury knew about it. Both of them would weigh about 50 kilos wringing wet. Not much of them, and Woodbury's going to go up in the ruck against Jacko Calder. No, and it's come over the top. Pendlebury. Hurried kick. Matt Watkins putting the handball backwards to Joey Collinson, who puts it on the left, but Stafford and Wilkinson having a great battle there, but Jacob Long, the loose player, going to mop it up in defence and get it across to that man again, Kieran Parnell.
As Parnell goes out wide and he comes to Gallagher. They just have to hold it up here. They've still got space. There's plenty of space for St Mary's players to run into, and Parnell does. And he's got time for a bounce, and he has it. Look over the top to Calder. He's been under enormous pressure today from Moroney.
Yeah, Kevin Moroney's done a great job.
Not 15 would be the call. No, he's going to call it 15 as looks like Pendlebury. No. Or is that Brodos?
Yeah, or Patrick Bowles. I can't see that.
Oh, it's Bowles.
Need some glasses.
And it comes over to Moroney.
Yes, Buff's just settling it down here, slowing it down and starting that chip kick again. Woodbury flying over the top of Nicky Yaron, but doesn't quite take it. Yaron brought to ground and he gets it off again. Looks like Bowles again running through the middle.
So Bowles on the boot. Matt Watkins. Collinson cleanly picks it up, and just as he does, the siren sounds. It's bouncing towards the point post, and I'm not sure if there'll be a score or not.
Well, I don't think
that was the siren.
It was a siren, but I don't think it was the one for this oval. I heard it too. So
all right.
Not sure if it's Pints Oval or the back oval. But
it might be the Pints Oval.
Only the 16-minute mark of this quarter. So Kieran Parnell with possession in the back line. And looking around for an option.
False finish there to the third quarter. Everyone can take their seats back.
It was exciting call, Ash. It was good. It was just practice.
Jacob Long just turns and goes, and he's got young Brock Lant is the target. He got it the second time, then got wrapped up in a tackle. Comes to Paredes, who just took one. Brilliant skills from Paredes. Hardly touched it with his hand, put it straight on his boot and found Dylan Lant.
Unbelievable skills, and Nate doing the captain's job there, running past Dylan Lant, just giving him a bit of words of advice.
So Riley Clamp was just drifting down into the centre corridor there and waving his arms. Dylan ignored him, and we'll go back for a longer shot.
Well, he said, if my brother can kick 3, I'm going to have a crack too. I'll try and kick a goal today.
So the left footer puts it up and pushes it to the left and through for a point.
Not the result he wanted. So Pendlebury will bring it back in for Buffs.
No, and Holtzfitz also drifting down. Best have been thrown onto the ball just to try and give Darwin a little bit more of a run as Sterling Mitchell waited for it and Clamp got across and punched it away.
So 17.5-minute mark of this third quarter. Both teams have kicked 2 goals apiece. Very even third quarter, Ash.
Yeah, it is. It was a 13-point lead to Darwin in the first quarter. Became a 17-point. They trailed by 17 points at half-time. And margin continuing to be maintained by St Mary's. Loose comes out to Nicky. Nicky's kick's a little bit of an up and under, but it's going to gain them distance, and it's dropped back to Braith Hodges. Hodges will go sideways to Parnell. He's just been an outlet all day as they've done the spread, St Mary's. Across to Gallagher. Gallagher can go over to Hillier, but he's a bit slow on getting rid of it. Ogden's has forced him into a position. It comes to Ted Castle. He just puts it on the boot and bombs it about 50. Calder got front position, couldn't take it cleanly. Salmon tried to soccer it through. Stokes off the ground, comes to Dylan Lant. Lant with a left-footed goal, but last line of defence is Tyrone Bean, and Bean will get it out of the danger zone through Timmy Eldridge.
Timmy Eldridge with the ball on the far side in the pocket, calling his teammates to come forward for his kick, looking for options, and he's going to go short there to Matty Campbell in the 33. Turns around and plays on quickly, looking for Mitch Robinson. Takes an easy mark and again plays on. Lionel Ogden running past. I still can't get used to Lionel in the Buffs. The Buffs gear, he's a Southern Districts man, and Jacob Long chopping it off in defence in front of Hassan Ahmet Watkins.
Yeah, he just waited for that, did Matt Watkins, and Long didn't, just took the front position, and he's come out wide. He's found Bo Tedcastle. So Tedcastle will just send it up the line to Paredes, the skipper, and looked like he juggled it, but then he's just pushed off and played on quickly. Front position there for Moroney asking the question, but it's picked up by Vallejo, gives it off to Braxton Armat. Across right foot kick, didn't look pretty, but it came to Grenfell with a right foot snap at goal that looks good.
Well, Brandon Grenfell getting a goal for St Mary's. Another goal kicker for St Mary's. That takes them out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goal kickers. And the score now, St Mary's 9-7-61, leading Darwin Buffaloes 5-8-38. He's got the knee heavily strapped, Brandon, but he is capable of kicking multiple guys, such a big man. And last time these two teams played, he kicked 7 goals and Jackson Calder kicked 4. So the Twin Towers are quite damaging for the Green Machine. Yeah,
they lost their starting ruckman that night, I think, St Mary's.
Jake Toa.
Yeah, so, Jake Toa, and then Brandon went into the ruck with his knee heavily strapped, and so it was like, what's going to happen next? I just saw him walk out at one of the breaks.
I don't know if he'll get back this season. They've been using Luke Oborn as well, who's away this week. You know, Saints have got a few players out. Sam Fowler is another one who's been really damaging, but you know, the first week after Christmas, and all the teams are sort of re-establishing themselves for the second half of the season as Mitch Robinson gives that ball back to the umpire.
Yeah, Atkinson back into the ruck now for Darwin, sort of as comes up against the youngster Braxton Matt. Bradley Stokes trying to get a hold of it. Clipped high, let go, play on is the call. Danger here, it comes to Salmon. Salmon can score from there, and he does.
Well, Nate Paredes with the quick hands there. His skills today have been amazing, just so super quick, enabling his teammate Joey Salmon to get a goal.
Well, biggest margin of the day has now been opened up. 67 plays 38.
And that's St Mary's 7th individual goal kicker, Joey Salmon, who's been a revelation the last 2 seasons for Saints with his speed.
Yeah, and in one of the things about the Darwin side that he's up against as well is there's a few speedsters in that side, but Salmon is right up there. And when you want to name the number of the quickest players on the field, well, Joseph Salmon's in that top 3.
Absolutely. And he's been named in the rep squad coming up in a few weeks for the NTFL, which is good to see.
Can't get at his bowls. Still loose on the ground. Rodos just dives onto her back. Umpire's going to pay her holding the ball. Made no attempt to get it out to Dylan Lant. And Rodos will get it. Gives it off to Holtz-Fitz. Holtz-Fitz just bombs it up forward, looking for Stafford. The fly was Ahmat Watkins.
What a mark by Hassan Ahmat Watkins. He's looking super fit, and he'll go back, and Buffs will be hoping he can put this one through for a major.
And that might be a contender for Mark of the Year.
Absolutely. That was a specky, as they call it.
Gee, had a good lead up to that. He was 4th in line, was Ahmat Watkins. Stafford had front position.
Hopefully.
And Hassan Ahmat Watkins just came in. Now, can he convert this for a much-needed goal? Not too bad. It's going to fade away all the way to the right, though. And we'll go through for a point.
Well, that will be a great mark to look back on after the game. Jacob Long bringing it back in, hitting up Bo Tedcastle, who's switched now from the forward line down to the back. Try to get a bit of touch. Looking down the field for options. Going to bring it down the grandstand side. Braxton Ahmat flies for it but misses. And Stenning, I think it is, busts through there with a handball.
Stenning. Rodos. Bowls onto Bradley Stokes. He can just send it inside that forward 50 again, all on his own. Misjudged it though in the end. Jared Stokes tried to get it. Now he's got it. The skipper can run into an open goal, and he does.
Well, that was absolutely textbook Jared Stokes. If you've watched him for the last few years, that's his bread and butter. He picks it up, does a little shimmy, and never misses from close range. So a great goal there to Jared Stokes, a captain's goal for him. The score now, Darwin Buffaloes 6-9-45, trailing St Mary's 10-7-67. A much-needed goal for the Buffs. Yeah,
22 points the difference. If anything, we're well and truly into time on. 24 minutes gone. You'd want, if you're a Darwin supporter, and you'd think there's about a minute or so, a minute and a half left, you'd want one more before three-quarter time.
Absolutely, and looking at the scoreboard, Ash, there's only 2 scoring shots the difference. Buffs have had 15, St Mary's 17. So, you know, it has been a pretty even game. St Mary's just a bit more accurate. Yeah,
it's been a good game to date. Perhaps the 22 points is a little bit further out than we were expecting, but St Mary's have taken their opportunities. And Darwin, you know, Darwin scored just then, and Ahmat Watkins, I thought he had that was just going to be a simple chest mark untouched, but he slipped, I think, at the end there, or whatever happened, and bounced off his chest. But Stokes was up to it. As we now come back to Grenfell, tap down. Robinson got it, trying to keep it forward of him. Bowles is going to try and use some body, and he does. There's Stokes again. Jared Stokes with speed, cut off by Paredes. Oh, this is dangerous. Land. Oh, good body coming straight through there was Bradley Stokes with a big hit. Play on is the call. Nicky, hands from the knees over to Bradley Stokes. Into the contest. Can it come out to Mitch Robinson? Ooh. Robinson looked like he got taken high. Play on was the call. Threw his head back. I don't think the umpires have been sucked into that, or if you could call it that. I want to see a replay first.
Tommy Clark getting up with the ball. Bit muddy down there now after a full game of play on TIO Stadium. One more game to go today. Brandon Grenfell winning that out of the ruck, but Daniel Stafford taking it, and the siren beats him as he has a shot on goal. So another great quarter, Ash.
Tremendous quarter there, and the siren going before Daniel Stafford kicking that ball. But what a tremendous quarter, and Saints just got themselves on top, dominated, and go into this break with a 22-point lead.
Super exciting. We'll go to the 3-quarter time break and be back for the final quarter very soon.
To the left of your radio, they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for the final quarter of this round 13 clash between the Darwin Buffaloes and St Mary's. It's third versus fourth on the ladder, and it's proven to be a fantastic game. Ash, St Mary's with a 22-point lead going into the final term.
Yeah, St Mary's lost one or two heading into the Christmas break, but have really bounced back here, and they've looked good. And that's not to take anything away from Darwin, but St Mary's have taken their opportunities in front of goal. They've got themselves a 22-point lead after they trailed by 13 points at quarter time.
Yeah, and for Buffs, an injury concern. I haven't seen Daniel Stafford come back out after the three-quarter time break. He limped off with two trainers around him at three-quarter time, as we see
there's a
free kick paid. So
it'll go to Buffs because there was outside the 50-metre arc as Jared Stokes sets it up for the Darwin Buffaloes early on, and Wilkinson read it beautifully in the air.
Well, as I said, Daniel Stafford's off now, so Wilkinson's had a great battle with him today, and Jacob Long will bring that out of defence to Bo Tedcastle. Yeah,
Tedcastle has been moved up back and probably found his space. Makes it easier when the ball comes to you. Ogden, Jack Lant, Brock Lant, wrapped up by Atkinson. Then Eldridge comes in as well. Then Jack Lant comes over the top. Umpires are going to have to get in there because Eldridge and Jack Lant have already had a bit to say to each other in that third term. Free kick, has a free kick been found? It has. Will go to Atkinson, who has taken high. Atkinson will bring it back inboard straight away. And so Bradley Stokes, is it?
Yeah, just slows it down and gets it to Jared. Jared puts it on the right, looking for a teammate, but I think it's Kieran Parnell again. Yep. Cutting it off. He's done it all day.
He has. Parnell has read the ball beautifully across half back. Parnell across to Tedcastle. Geez, covered some ground, Tedcastle, as he goes forward. And the Calder is standing there all alone. Maroney's got to go back. He does. Now Woodbury's in there. Woodbury with a chip over the top. And Brock Lant got it and then got taken high in the consequence of Eldridge. Don't know there was anything in it other than just a slippery ground.
Timmy put his hands up straight away to say sorry, and our camera's gone sideways, I think, so we'll just try and fix that up. We're on a bit of an angle at the moment, but Brock Lant has the ball in the Darren Ewing pocket, as we used to call it in Thunder days. Puts it on the right.
And Brock goes across the face. Not a bad effort from there. Tough pocket, that pocket.
It is, and that's why we called it the Darren Ewing pocket, because he kicked a lot of goals from there. So Buffs will bring it back in.
And Bradley Stokes will restart.
Been fantastic today, Bradley and Jared Stokes.
Yep, and finds Aaron Stokes. Aaron can go to Eldridge, but he's going to have to be quick about it. And the kick's not great, will bounce out of bounds.
So just fixing that camera up for viewers at home, and as we see that ball's gone out of bounds, it'll be a throw-in.
Jack Lant and Jackson Calder are the only multiple goal scorers on the field for either. Daniel Stafford is the multiple goal scorer, but as Liz said, Stafford not out there, although he's at the interchange now. Looked like he might come back on as Paredes out of the ruck work, just sends it up inside the 50 for Saints. Salmon's in there. He's just kept it in. He hasn't kept it in. It's gone out of bounds. Yeah,
Buffaloes fans will be very pleased to know that Daniel Stafford is walking around on the bench. Also on the bench, they've got John Vrodos down there. So Stafford wants to come back on. He's telling the runner, looks like Wheaties Hayes, he's telling him, get me back on.
Yeah, and Sterling Mitchell will come off. Ryan Pendlebury, hurried kick out of the air. Socket attempted there, and the free kick will be paid in danger. Go against Bowles.
Riley Clamp, first game out today, puts the ball up for Jackson Calder. He's got 2-on-1, so couldn't take it. Timmy Eldridge just running through, taking a bounce in his 150th game and just urging his teammates to come forward for his kick.
And the teammate he was looking for was in fact Campbell, who ran straight into, and was Land, who ran straight into Mitch Robinson. They put some physical pressure on Dylan Lant in this second half.
They have, but Pendlebury cuts it off, and Dylan Lant still bent over. That one stung.
Yeah, it was, and it's in the hands of Clark. Clark now then gives it off to Bradley Stokes, who's on a run to Holtz Fitz. Holtz Fitz inside 50, steps around Riley Clamp, then goes inboard and picks out Nicky. That's Qualcomm Nicky, who has been serviceable absolutely all day.
And what beautiful delivery by Liam Holtfitz. His delivery by foot to his teammate was sublime. Great skills, the boy from Tennant Creek.
So can they claw another one back and make this margin 16 points? 4.5 minutes gone here in the final term. So Buffs will be looking to make this margin a little bit shorter as Nicky comes in directly in front. His teammates applaud him. And Saints claw it, Darwin claw it back to 16 points. And Nicky gets on the board for his first.
It's got everything, this game, Ash. Very exciting, and Nicky will be pretty pleased with that.
Well, he's earned that goal, I think, Liz, because he hasn't been too bad. I mean, he's earned it so much they're dragging him off the field.
It's a common thing in football these days. Kick a goal and leave.
And your reward is to run 50 metres.
So, yeah, game on our hands. We just see the St Mary's runner, Tony Long, running off the field. Congratulations, became a dad this week with his partner, Hannah, that used to work for AFLNT, a beautiful baby girl, Matilda. So... bit going on.
Yeah, Brodos and Dylan Land. Dylan Land just pushing Brodos over.
I think Dylan's had enough. They've had a go at him today.
Yeah, Grenfell just took it out of the air and then he got dispossessed. Jared Stokes has got it, steps around 1, 2. The handball to Pendlebury was actually behind him. As Land and Brodos have words, still play on is the call. It's going to get serious out here.
Getting
as
a bit out of
Grenfell and
control
Atkinson, as there is 3 different things happening at once and someone's got the football. Now it goes forward. Jacob Long's going to lead the race to the ball as we stick with the game. Armat Watkins has got it. Long kept it in and has had 2 bounces so far. Now he's had a third.
The Buffaloes players stopped putting their arms up in the air saying it was out, but there was no whistle.
Didn't go, no.
So Nicky Yaron's trying to pick it up, gets it off to Nate Paredes, his captain, who chucks it on the right, looking for Calder at the back, and he's taken it.
And there's a free kick. He's actually going to, just looking here, not really sure. In fact, the mark will be paid. There's some discussion. Mark is actually going to be paid to Calder. And
50 metres.
And the 50 metre is also going to be paid, as there are
spot fires everywhere around the ground at the moment, and as we know, Ash, 50 metres will be paid for ill discipline, and that's going to give St Mary's an absolutely certain goal here to Jackson Calder.
Well, there's a mismatch in size here. Eldridge and Grenfell are having words, and Eldridge just choosing to move away as the Calder kicks his third, so he becomes the second triple goal scorer today alongside his teammate Jack Lamp.
Timmy Eldridge, as you said, taking himself off the ground. We don't want to take away from the fantastic achievement Timmy is playing today in his 150th game, as there's just words being exchanged in the middle. The umpires need to get on with it here, and the players need to get on with it, Ash, and just get it underway.
Yeah, getting very tense out there, and the umpires just need to restart play as soon as possible.
7.5 minute mark of the final quarter here at TIO Stadium.
Mitchell, grabbed by Grenfell, just put it straight on the boot, didn't worry about it, up to centre half forward, over the top. Jack Lant gets around to one of the brother, Brock, handball up in the air, still loose. Salmon, Joseph Salmon comes in, picks it up, dances around, then gives a handball underneath to Paredes, who takes a step and snaps over his left shoulder. And through for a point.
So St Mary's score 11-9-75. Darwin Buffaloes 7-9 51. 8 minute mark. Final quarter. Bradley Stokes.
We'll bring it in to Jared. Jared across to John Vrodos. Attracted a lot of attention the last couple of minutes as Vrodos. Vrodos kicks long down the line. It's not a great kick. It's going to bounce, and Riley Clamp comes across, the debutant from St Mary's. And Ryan Pendlebury just gave him a bit of a nudge, and umpire Callum Lonely saying, just throw it in, thank you. As Pendlebury and Grenfell continue to bump. Grenfell will go up against Sterling Mitchell, big-bodied there. Pendlebury got it. Sliding on the ground, trying to get a free kick, and he did.
Yeah.
Grenfell with a high tackle.
Taken high, even though Mitch Robinson's saying I got taken high. It's a free kick. Grenfell just stands there as the ball goes past him. Jacob Long says, it's okay, Bruss, I'll go and get it. And we all just need to calm down.
Well, the break hopefully will just settle everything down. It may not, but just calming everything down as Luke Hillier wants to put on a hard lead. Grenfell just ignored him. He's going to go looking for Jackson Calder, who's got a break on his opponent, which is Moroney. So Calder could go back and settle things down even more. In fact, there's a hold off the ball, and it'll go to Aaron Stokes. So Stokes was up against Braxton Armat, and so the hold at Campbell now on the receiving end. Thomas Clark has got it. Clark's got two options. He's got Bean outside, who he goes to. He also had the running Nicky. So Bean had time to let the ball bounce and then pick it up. The kick's not great. Under pressure, it's 2-on-1 there. Nicky, though, clever, gives it back to Clark. Clark goes in short to Stafford, who's back on. Not in clear movement is Stafford. He looks like he's hobbling a little bit. Wilkinson over the top. Dragged down was Parnell, and the ball will go out of bounds. Stafford doesn't look like he's moving freely, Liz.
No, not at all, and I'm surprised he's back on. But if they want to hit him up, they've got to hit him up on the chest, because he won't be able to pick anything up at ground level. It's the 10.5-minute mark of this final quarter at TIO Stadium, and it is St Mary's with a 24-point lead.
Stafford's gone into the ruck against Grenfell, and this time, and Nicky read it beautifully off the hands of Grenfell. Puts it up to the forward position where Armat Watkins takes the mark, gives a handball over to Pendlebury, who kicks a goal.
Clever work there by Hassan Armat Watkins. First of all with the mark, and to play on quickly and get that goal for his team, which is much needed. Trying to draw that margin back, the Buffaloes, and Ryan Pendlebury with a goal.
Well,
5,
8
6,
goals,
7.
9 now.
Yeah, they've had 7 individual goal kickers, and Daniel Stafford, their multiple goal kicker, as you said before, with 2.
Well, 3 straight kicks now, and the game gets tied up.
Plenty of time left. It's the only 11-minute mark of this final quarter, Ash. So great viewing if you're at home, and great viewing if you're here at the ground. And there is a good crowd here today. We've got Nightcliff taking on Wanderers after this. So big day of footy here at TIO Stadium in Darwin. Where else would you want to be, Ash?
No, and the intensity's picked up substantially as Darwin, the tactic, as Mitchell come up. One out, though, then by Braxton Matt, but it's going to be Holtz Fitz who picks up the loose ball back to Robinson. Robinson's hurried left foot kick goes inside the 50. Clark is there. Coming back to it, though, was Hartung. He comes out to Long. So Jacob Long, the ball hits the ground in front of Lant. Picked up. Darwin again go forward, and a free kick's been found. And it was for tunnelling, and it'll go to Wilkinson, I think. And it'll go against Robinson, who is again unhappy at the umpiring as Wilkinson goes over the top to Jacob Long. Jacob Long has a bounce, a second bounce.
I just wrote Jacob Long down in my best, Ash, today. I think he's been very reliable coming out of defence.
He's been reliable since the start of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He really has been one of Saints' better players consistently every week. And that kick has gone out of bounds on the full as Darwin were trying to repel the attack and then gain some ground in return. So play will restart on that far side.
And the lights are on here at TIO Stadium in Darwin. The rain's held off today, which is probably the first day in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been good conditions
for
football.
Yeah.
It comes out the back there. Hillier onto Jack Lant. Over the cross looking for Joseph Salmon. Hands in front. Now Salmon gets it. Now Salmon can guide it through for the 12th.
What a goal by Joey Salmon. His second for the day. St Mary's stretching that lead out again. 12-9, 81. Darwin Buffaloes 8-9, 57. Every time the Buffs get a goal, Ash, St Mary's have an answer.
They do, and they respond quickly. So the number 12, Salmon, got Saints 12th. And it was just a slow build-up around that far side. Nothing particularly showy about it. They were just workmanlike.
Stenning coming back on the ground for St Mary's. Jai Hartung coming off, and Bo Tedcastle looks like he's moved into the middle. Mitch Robinson in the middle. Jared Stokes in the middle. And Ryan Pendlebury in the middle.
And Braxton Armat will go up against Sterling Mitchell.
A couple of big names in there.
There is Pendlebury as well. Sterling Mitchell one out. Ryan Pendlebury couldn't quite get two hands onto it. Holtz Fitz steps around one. Now it comes out to Mitchell. So Darwin can go deep into attack. Flyer was over the top with Stafford. Got it the second time. Handball backwards looking for Clark. Clark's concentrating on the player behind him and not the ball. It's cleaned up though by Braxton Armat onto Tedcastle. Tedcastle short to Salmon. Salmon onto a teammate, then back to Salmon. Salmon pushes off Nicky, holds him, stands in the tackle, and the free kick's been played. He took too long. Nicky was determined. Chips it over to Thomas Clark. Clark onto the running Coulthard. Coulthard puts it out in front of Stafford, lets it bounce, can't quite bend over. Braith Hodges has picked it up, but he's wrapped up. No prior, you would think. And he's going to go for holding the ball. No, made no attempt according to the umpire as Collinson now calls, the umpire calls play on. Collinson did. Nicky slipped at a crucial time. Hillier was able to get away with it. Saints can go away through Paredes. He's got 3, 2 inside him if he wants. He's had 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Then he spills it. He's got so much time to pick it back up. Now he can go in short to Calder.
Well, what great pressure in the defensive backline by St Mary's. I think it was Riley Clamp who was the original Saints player that put the pressure on it. It's resulted in a shot on goal to Jackson Calder up the other end in a matter of minutes, matter of seconds.
Yeah, Calder, he's started to find touch in the second half. You would think this is well within his range, well within his accuracy.
He's kicked 3, going for 4.
Let's see what he can do. Can he get St Mary's 13th goal? He tries to just guide it through, and it's gone right across the front to be taken as a mark.
Brandon Grenfell, his partner in crime. Last time they played Buffs, they had a day out kicking 11, and they've decided to finish today with a few goals each. Grenfell's kicked 1 so far. He's only about 20 metres out, but on a bit of an angle.
It looks like he's going to kick across his body rather than risk. He does, and I reckon it's just snuck in, and it has.
We'll mark him down for his 2nd goal of the day. Brandon Grenfell, after a nice pass, we'll call it, from Jackson Calder. The score now, St Mary's 13-9, 87. Leading Darwin Buffaloes 8-9, 57. That margin's just blown out to 30 points, Ash.
Yeah, the margin having been 22 points and then back to 16, and then really has opened up a little bit there. Darwin exerting a lot of energy in the middle of this quarter in the 4th term. So perhaps too much.
Yeah, the clock ticking over, or ticking up to 17 minutes now, so there's still a bit of time left.
There's a little bit of time, but they will need to score from this. They've done very well to get it out of the middle, Darwin. They'll need to score from this surge if they can. Atkinson got his hands to it. Pendlebury got a kick away. It's ended up with Paredes, the Saints skipper, who finds Lant. 2 big names straight up. Lant just swivels and goes, looking for Grenfell up forward. And it's socked through the traffic and hits the post and will be thrown in, and that was Jack Lant.
So a 30-point margin, and as we said, 17-minute mark, a throw in down the Michael Long centre end by umpire Jade Ferry. Looks like Grenfell will go up in the ruck against Chris Atkinson, who's worked really hard all day today. He's had a few big whacks to the face and gone off with the blood rule a couple of times.
Grenfell got his hand to it, but it's going to be Moroney. Now it's to Salmon, the Hillier, Cruiserberger, and out. Calder is all out there on his own.
He's not happy. He just dropped it at the last minute, that kick that went up in the air from Riley Clamp. So, yeah, players just walking back to their spots. They know there's only about, 5 or 6 minutes left.
No, it's been a very intense game of football. Won't make too much difference to the ladder. Would have tightened up the top 4 as the ball goes out through Darwin. It's 2-on-1, and it's marked cleanly by Parnell, as he's done for most of the day. So Parnell just gives it off to Wilkinson, who now, with a Stafford that is potentially carrying a bit of an injury, is able to run off his man a little bit more. Comes to Tyrone Bean.
Smothered there by Xavier Vallejo, but Timmy Eldridge has picked it up, and he's going to get a kick away in his 150th game to Tommy Clark. Tommy's been good today, gives it back to the running Jared Stokes, takes a bounce and shimmies his way through the players, putting it out to the advantage of the running Mitch Robinson. It's a foot race. No, it's Matty Campbell, sorry. But there's 3 St Mary's players there and just 1 Matty Campbell.
Yeah, and he couldn't outlast those numbers. Bit of pressure there. Bowles trying to put pressure onto Cruiserberger. And dragged over the top. They might come away with it as Vrodos with a handball over to Bowles. It gets cut off though, and it's going up towards Jack Lant. Tyrone Bean is there. Tyrone Bean just put the ball up a little bit high for Coulthard, but he's got it on the chest, just inside the boundary line, kicks back inboard and picks out Pendlebury. So Ryan Pendlebury will want to send Darwin well and truly inside the 50. Oh, Ahmat Watkins, as he did at the start of the quarter, takes a chest mark after using his body.
Making it look easy there, Ahmat Watkins. He's kicked one already today, missed one, and he'll be going for his second. And Buffs really need this if they want any sort of a sniff at getting back in this game.
Just watching here, Ahmat Watkins directly in front and doesn't miss.
So a second goal to Hassan. Oh, sorry, he hasn't kicked one today. I've got him marked down for one. A goal to Hassan Ahmat Watkins. Buffs getting one back. The score 9-9-63, trailing St Mary's 13-9-87. 4 straight goals, the margin.
Well, Cam Stokes will be happy that they are fighting off, although I don't know how many other players have to come into this Darwin lineup just yet to actually tighten them up. But I will say they've been getting some good service out of their players across the field, and they include up forward. The pickup of Lionel Ogden is very good, and he's actually demonstrated his benefit straight up. Atkinson, Grenfell just takes it out of the air after competing and then just puts it on the boot. Sterling Mitchell's there up against Hillier. Coming out is Jack Lant. He's already kicked 3 for the day. Jack Lant for Saints, sticking it up for Calder. Maroney has been a challenge all day for Jackson Calder. Hurried off the ground was Yaron with a boot, but it's just bounced to the left of the scoreboard and of the goals, and they will restart it.
21.5 minutes ticking over in this final quarter. Players setting up for the throw in. Looks like Jackson Calder will go up in the ruck against Chris Atkinson, who's toiled hard all day for the Buffs. Pushes it forward. Joey Salmon hits his hands, but he's flung off his kick, and it should be a free kick going to Darwin Buffaloes. Kevin Maroney's been good in defence today.
No, Maroney has been good. Calder's got his 3, but he could have in other games. He's dominated a lot more. Maroney is just demonstrating why he's such a good defender. As Ogden again found space out wide in the spread, and he goes up the centre wing. And Riley Clamp, a debutant for St Mary's from South Australia, has also come into the game as he's found his feet as the game's further gone along. Here we go. Saints on the attack again through Gallagher. Setting themselves. There was Maroney, got his hands on it first. Calder, though, collected it at the front like a rover, even though he's 6'4".
Thought he was Eddie Betts.
Yeah, and put it through for a point.
So a kick in for Maroney. Mitch Robinson leading early, wanting the ball and taking a nice easy mark. Playing on quickly and getting the hands off to Chris Atkinson. They're trying to get that ball down the other end as quickly as possible, but I think it might get turned over here. Bit of pressure on.
Well, Sterling Mitchell with an outside inside, whatever you want to call that kick. Tyrone Bean. Oh, they've got some runners here. Jared Stokes has got Nicky. Qualcomm Nicky can have a look upfield, and he does. There's Hassan Ahmat Watkins.
Oh.
Fingertips, almost had it, lost it. Jacob Long's in there to clean up. Reliable. They can run it out here, and they do. Dylan Lance first on it. Nicky's in chase. Dylan Lant on the left foot. Oh, Tyrone Bean, though, is there for Darwin, and he goes into Mitch Robinson, who's waited and then just gets belted. A crop taken high, and now it's on.
It's gonna be
in the middle of the field. Mitch Robinson didn't care about it, the free kick. Just went straight at Brock Lant, and players are rushing pretty much from everywhere. All umpires are in there, and I'd say Robinson's going to have a real problem. So is Brock Lant, by the way, in the match review panel. And we saw before Christmas that there were multiple teams done for melees, and there might be 2 more.
So play
now it's
goes
a play
on. Yeah, Lionel Ogden's got the ball and he just boots it in to the forward line. Kieran Parnell, once again, the only one home. He's done it all day, chopping that off, and he's going to switch play out to the grandstand side to Lachlan Stenning.
Yeah, missed opportunity there by Lionel.
Hartung.
Missed opportunity there from Lionel Ogden. He could have run a bit further, and Matty Campbell was dropping back. Instead, he just bombed it torpedo style, went nowhere. Now it's in the hands of Vallejo. He's been very good today, the youngster.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding game. It's probably the best I've seen him play. There's still a bit going on in the middle, but the Saints are getting on with it. Matt Wilkinson's got it deep in his defence. He's going to look downfield and hit up Jack Gallagher.
As it comes to Gallagher then over the top, and it's come to Clamp. So Riley Clamp.
It's been good. I've been really impressed by him today.
Yep, definitely an asset. Clamp goes to Calder, and Calder, under pressure from two Darwin players, just drags it down.
Yeah, that kick was just weighted perfectly for Jackson Calder. And again, Riley Clamp, I've been really impressed. A good pick-up for St Mary's. Mates with Josh Smithson and Kieran Parnell from boarding school in South Australia, I'm led to believe. And that gives Jackson Calder his shot on goal for his 4th.
Yeah, and players are still remonstrating in the middle of the field. Umpires there's 2 umpires in there and a couple of runners, club officials, water boys, just trying to calm everyone down.
Meanwhile,
as Calder comes in and just as easy as you like, he gets his 4th. That was a great mark. He measured that beautifully in the air.
He did, and I'm not sure what the issue's been all day. There's just been a little bit of niggle going on, and it kind of detracts from the game when you've got someone of the calibre of Timmy playing his 150th game, which is a fantastic achievement, and both these teams looking towards finals. You wouldn't want to lose any players to suspension at this time of the year, Ash.
No, I don't think that either coach would want to see a player suspended, and I think that Anthony will be a little bit disappointed with Brock in the hit. I'd be curious to see what the match review panel does with that.
Yeah, I didn't really see it. I need to see it again. But play back underway. 26 minutes has just ticked over on the scoreboard at St Mary's. 14-10, 94. Darwin Buffaloes 9-9-63.
Robinson earning a free kick, and the siren sounds. And now there's handshakes all around. And that's a good sign. I like that.
Good to see. So St Mary's record a win over the Darwin Buffaloes. Final score 14-10, 94. Buffaloes 9-9-63. A couple of your better players from today's game match.
Well, I'm not going to venture too far from where you've already been talking about, but for Saints, Dylan Land early on, but you can't go past older brother Jack and the efforts that he put in during the day. Nicky Yarran, Kieran Parnell was close to the best as far as I was concerned for St Mary's. I was really impressed with young Xavier Vallagio's game, and as the game wore on, the efforts of Riley Clamp. And then for Buffs, I actually thought Hassan Ahmad Watkins throughout the day came in. Obviously, Lionel Ogden is a major asset. Jared Stokes did very well. Daniel Stafford presented himself, and Matty Campbell, when he had the opportunities, took them. One other Saints player I want to mention, by the way, is Joseph Salmon. I thought that his game was actually much better than I've seen in recent weeks. And you've written down there Bradley Stokes. And I'm going to mention that even though Jackson called the kick 4 goals, I don't think it's really reflective because he didn't get 3 of those until the second half. But I thought Moroney was actually good. Kevin Moroney was actually pretty good, and it was a great battle between them.
Yeah, he sure was. He was outstanding all day, Kevin Moroney, and great to see both teams finishing with handshakes. It's been a sad week in NTFL footy.
Yep.
Everyone wearing black armbands in honour of Kane Riley, and he was a part of both of these clubs. And it's affected a lot of us, and our thoughts are with his family and friends. So it's St Mary's that take away the win in round 13. Thanks for a great call, Ash. Always great to call the footy with you.
Thoroughly enjoyable, Liz, and this was a great game of footy to call.
So stay tuned for more men's Premier League action tonight. Waratah are taking on Pint from Gardens Oval, and Wanderers are taking on Nightcliff, live from right here in TIO Stadium, broadcast on the NT News. Thanks for watching.